Hi, yeah, my name's Bradley. I'm 28 years old. I live in Portsmouth, England, and the reason I came out to Peru, to the Ayahuasca Foundation, was due to my mental health and the concern that I had that there may be some sort of entity within my body controlling and playing a big part in the way my life had been going, and that was exactly the case. The healing that has taken place has happened on such a deep level. Physically I feel fantastic with the massages and the treatments we've used from the plants have helped a lot of the bone structure problems I was dealing with, and that was something I didn't even mention, but that was part of the reason that I came out here as well. Just on the plane over here was excruciating for me. Just getting my shoulders back has always been a problem. But in regards to mentally and spiritually, what's happened for me out here is just remarkable, really. I come here with the diagnosis hanging over my head that I was manic depressive and had a narcissistic personality disorder, which I'd been told was basically meant that I'd never be able to make friends, never really gain anyone's respect, would just be a compulsive liar and so arrogant that people could just not tolerate me. And in all honesty, that's kind of how my journey has been, really, up until this point. I've had relationships and friendships, but none of which have really lasted for long, and the same with any careers or sporting opportunities that I've had to go a long way have just been sacrificed in because of the way I was, and what's happened here is healing on such a deep level that I feel completely balanced within my mind. No depression, no mania whatsoever. Even those concepts of the labels and the identity that surrounds them doesn't really exist anymore. I feel fantastic, I feel content, and I think the big thing with the so-called depression would be that I would have this constant lack of motivation and drive, which is just not there anymore. I can't wait to get back home and start to implement some of these changes, particularly within a career. And I've spent years out of work because apparently I was that poorly that it just wasn't going to happen. And in all honesty, the depression was that bad that there was no way I was going to get back into work. And now I can't wait to get back and really have a look at these avenues and possibly even start my own business. I can safely say that prior to coming to the Ayahuasca Foundation, I'd never experienced love or joy in its purest form. I'd felt the love my mother tried to give me, and the girlfriend that I'm with at the moment. They've been so wonderful and have really helped me to get out here and to do this journey, and particularly my girlfriend, who totally understands that when I would say that I didn't really know what love felt like, that it wasn't any aspect towards her, it was just something within me, and I now know that there was like this cloud around my heart that was just stopping me from experiencing. And I can't wait to be able to get back and experience love and to share that, and the ceremonies here have taught me so much. I can safely say that within 3 weeks I've learned more about everything from myself, my behavioural patterns, about love, about joy, and about Mother Earth as a whole than I have done in the last 7 years. And I've spent the last 7 years reading and studying and working really hard to try and progress spiritually and to get on with my life, and the wisdom of these plants out here, along with the staff that work here, provide the stepping stones in order to do that, you know. And what they offer here at the Ayahuasca Foundation is a far more intense path, and you know, the whole package. You take vapor baths, you do the cold plant baths, you follow a very strict diet of no sugar, no salt, no spice, no dairy, and it's imperative, because that's in order to raise the receptiveness of your spirit and your soul, because of course you're drinking ayahuasca, which is straight from Mother Earth, and she is the queen of the plants. But it's the whole package, you know. The member of staff working here, Sam, who spent a lot of time with me working on past injuries, using the boa constrictor fat as the massage tool, which gets right into the joints, and then of course there's the shaman or the curandero who was responsible for removing this energy from me, which had to be seen to believe the process that it went through. I mean, I woke up one morning and I was just itching like crazy, and there was no stopping it. I jumped in the shower, come running out, said to Carlos, like, there's something on my back, and everyone could see there was no rash whatsoever, and it wasn't, you know, it's not the first time that these guys here have seen energies being removed from the body like that. And I've been well aware that this energy has been part of me for many, many years, and it makes me very sad and also joyful just at the thought of the experience that went on, because we proceeded to do a vapor bath which helped to remove this energy from me. I could feel it running down my arms, coming out my fingertips, literally coming out of my pores, and then Vilma did what can only be described as an exorcism, but I'm sure in the Shipibo tradition it's just removing that energy from oneself, and there's no doubt about it, the way it went down was, as this energy was leaving me, I had this strength where I could have just thrown her off my back easily, like 10 foot across the Maloka, but I didn't. I laid there as the energy left me. It was painful, but at the end of it, it was gone, and now I feel like I'm capable of living with love and joy, and for many years, you know, in Western civilization, no doctors, they labelled depression, manic depression, and medicated me, and there's, you know, I will be going back into my life now with no medication, no need for it, with a balanced mind, with my soul intact, being able to experience emotions again rather than just feeling numb inside, which was a horrible way to live, you know. Like, no wonder relationships would break down, because I couldn't really experience any feelings. There's so much to tell from this journey, you know, and there's so much detail to go into. For me, it's just, if anything that I'm saying rings true for you, then save yourself years of therapy and years of work. Come out here and do the work. I mean, the ceremonies are incredible, and in the beginning I had a bit of a hard time with the darkness of it all, and because you're sitting in a Maloka and it's pitch black, but there's a very good reason for that. The fact that we only see and hear with a certain amount from the colour spectrum, and the same with the sound spectrum. That's why we sit in the dark, and of course that's where the visions come from. It's just magical, and this is definitely the place to come, and it's where I would want to come to study. I know for me now I want to study botany, and to come out here and study the plants here would be the key to it. That's certainly something I would love to do once I can get the money behind me to do so. In terms of value for money, this place is incredible. You'll see, looking at other ayahuasca places, they don't offer the package of the vapor baths, and in terms of the actual healing that goes on, I mean, I can't comment on how they perform, but what I can comment on is what's gone on here, and I'm certainly not the only one from this retreat who's experienced massive healing, both on a physical and a spiritual level. I mean, what more is there to say? There's so much has gone on, you know. It's been the best 3 weeks of my life, quite possibly the toughest 3 weeks of my life too, working through some serious stuff. But like I said, I've got underneath some serious issues and problems that for the last 7 years I've been working on. Oh, I suppose that the huge thing I left out was the drug addiction. You know, like, one of the major reasons I come here was many years of taking drugs, and now I have the insight to look back at what I was really doing all the time I was taking them drugs, and what I was searching for, and you know, I don't have regrets for it, because I realise now what I was looking for was, I was trying to wake my spirit up. I was trying to get closer to what my understanding of God was, and any sort of man-made drug just took me further away from that, but it gave me a short-lived experience of what it might be to be closer to God. And I can safely say I will never smoke again. You know, I can safely say, you know, cannabis, cocaine, all these man-made drugs serve no purpose for me. And that mindset that I had of calling myself an addict, you know, was not helping. And that's been smashed. That's gone. You know, that it's not a case of me not being on drugs. It's that I'm not a drug addict. It is quite simply, it's been taken care of. And that's really quite exciting to think about as well, because ayahuasca taught me that. I mean, she taught me some harsh lessons in terms of the Moorish nature of my character, and always wanting more tattoos, more women, and just constantly. But that whole concept has been lifted away. What she's done for me, ayahuasca has taught me. She's reprogrammed, like deprogrammed my brain. She's taken away all these old belief systems and this programming that was set through adverts and, you know, the propaganda of the world, and the way that we're brought up and told how to think and how to act and live, and always like upgrading technology, and that's been stripped away. And I can go back and live a life full of love and joy, and not wanting more all the time, like looking within myself to stay well. And yeah, that's really everything I've got to say. Thank you.